we're going to take the conversation to another level. We put out this question on the internet, and we got some WhatsApp comments, and it says, is it right to put a child on a diet? So we're going to open the phone lines. We want to hear what you have to say on if it is right to put a child on a diet. What do you think about it? Are there religious beliefs to back up this particular conversation? Because now, according to Carla, she said that a religious belief made her do it, and she feels like she shouldn't have a fat child because she is not fat, and that's one of the reasons why our child is small. I realized that when I was reading through conversations online, I realized that a lot of people actually believe in vegan diets for their children. I want to know the MO, like the motive behind this. I want to know if it is even right, if it is healthy, or if it is not healthy. The good thing is we got a comment from one of the doctors that we speak to, and we're going to read that as the conversation goes on. However, we're going to delve into the comments that we have. So when the phone lines are open, you can dial or send us a text message if you're not able to reach us on the phone lines that we're going to be putting on the screen. And you can go to any of our social media platforms to drop your comments at High Impact TV and at High Impact TV UK. All right, this first comment comes from Laura. Laura reached out to us from Lagos, and Laura says, it's not only right, it's a responsibility, and if the parents don't try and make sure their kids are eating healthy, I think that it should be considered child abuse. Okay, yeah, all right, indeed. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about, so, now we need to break down something. When we say diet, most people think that dieting is just for when you want to lose weight. So we need to first clear that no,
like,
that's
I'm on a weight gain diet, for instance.
Do you understand? So, but most times when you hear, oh, I'm on a diet, the next thing that comes to your mind is, why are you dieting? Yeah. You look great, or what do you want to be slim? So most people actually just assume that you're trying to lose weight when they hear that you're on a diet, because they feel like that's the only time that you should actually care about what you're eating. I beg to differ. You should care about what you're eating. Either you're trying to gain weight, or you're trying to lose weight, or you're just trying to eat healthy. Yeah. Some people don't even want to gain or lose weight. They just want to maintain the particular physique that they have at the moment and just eat healthy. What we know is you need to eat balanced diets, actually. Majorly. Yeah. Balanced diet, either as a child or an adolescent or an adult or an old or a young person. Just make sure that you're eating a balanced diet. And it's also important that you're giving your child a balanced diet.
Yeah, with a vegan diet, you can also actually get a balanced diet, because the idea is that you need your carbohydrates, you need your proteins, you need your vitamins, you need your vegetables, basically. You need your and you need some form of fats and oils as well, actually. So with a vegan diet, you can actually get all of these things, but the only difference is that it's they're plant-based. Most of these things are usually plant-based. So even if you're taking soya milk, you're getting some form of fat from soya milk. Do you understand? If you're getting, and then obviously you're getting your protein from milk as well. For instance, you can have like moi moi. Moi moi is protein. It's beans cake. No, beans cake is akara, isn't it?
Yes,
but
yes.
Moi moi is made from beans too, isn't it?
Yes.
Beans, high source of protein. You can eat, for instance, beans and rice. Rice, high source of carbohydrates instead of your normal. So, like for instance, your jollof rice and your moi moi without the fish or the meat or the egg or whatever. So, for instance, that is a good vegan balanced diet. So the idea, even if whether you're a vegetarian
or tofu,
exactly.
Or tofurkey.
There's even like veggie burgers as well, which is interesting. But there are veggie burgers. So even if you're a vegan, even if you're a vegetarian, even if you eat meat or whatever the case may be, the point is to have a balanced diet. Now, when we now relate that to child dietary, now that's why I want us to actually really look at the views and hopefully see the view from the doctor this morning, because for me, where I stand, I'm no professional in this particular field, but from where I stand, I feel like a child should be given a full meal, I'm not talking about a vegan diet or vegetarian diet. I feel like a child should be placed on a full diet. Do you understand? Should be allowed to, because this child's bones are still growing. Do you understand?
Developing.
Yeah, obviously protein helps, because now I'm thinking about, for instance, bone structure. With strengthening your bones, what you need for that is calcium. You can get calcium from proteins. You can also get calcium from like eating bones and, animal-based proteins. But actually, you can also get it from plant-based proteins. But I don't know, from where I sit, I think a child that is growing, a baby that is growing, should be given full option. Do you understand? Before, maybe in the teenage years, then you're now adjusting to a vegetarian diet or something like this, But I feel like, especially when the child is a baby or whatever the case may be, from where I sit, as I said, I'm no professional on this particular matter, but I would say that, we actually give children their full diets.
All right, let's get some more comments.
Yeah.
This one is from Paul. Paul from Lagos says, depends on the age of the child. During infancy and toddlerhood. All right, but before we continue with this conversation, we have Abdul Latif from Abuja. Good morning, Abdul Latif. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning, Abdul Latif. How are you doing?
Good morning. Are you doing clearly?
Yes, we can hear you very clearly. Thank you for joining us this morning. How is Abuja?
Abuja is fine. Thank you so much.
We're fine, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to contribute to the video about to put a child on their diet.
Okay.
Actually, from my own experience, it's very, very good if parents can actually monitor their children with their food. From my own experience personally, when I was very young, I was somehow fat.
Okay.
So at that time, a lot of people reject me for social activities. For example, playing football. You understand?
Okay.
So they believe that if they are on do their own way, they don't allow me to participate. So at that time, parents think they are taking good care of their children by so many jobs, like taking too much of them and making it up. But if you follow the normal process by taking good care of yourself to monitor what you eat, it's not going to be only good for the child alone.
Okay.
For you as giving a good parent. Because it is really apart from like I want my child to be a medical doctor, to be an engineer, to be a lawyer, all this other stuff. It is really good that know what the child is going to become. Going to become an athlete, all these things. So if you have a nice body on you, you will even like it more than any other thing.
All right.
So I believe personally, it's good if parents have knowledge about it. But for those ones that don't have knowledge about it, maybe in village and all those things, I don't think they can do anything.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Child to be feeling hungry, like try to punish the child one way or the other one is not good. Because the basic thing, like in the Yoruba person, they say the basic poverty or the basic suffering is where you are feeling hungry.
Right. Abdul Latif, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Thank you. Enjoy your day. All right, yes. All right. So I was able to pick one or two things from what he has said. He was talking about how it is important that the parents know what diet is about before they place their children on it. Like if you know about it, if you understand how to give a balanced diet, I would assume that a dietitian by profession, having a child, should know how to place their children on a very good diet and all of that, because that's what they do. Or people that have a knack for picking up things very quickly, people that like to, make sure that they are meticulous about the ways that they feed themselves and their children, should probably know one or two things about dieting. But then he also said that if you don't know, probably you should ask around. Don't just assume, or don't just... Also, I realize that people pick things from social media. Social media is not your teacher.
I'll tell you.
We are not even your teachers. Let's even start from there. Because look, there is no one size fits all to anything. I mean, people can only advise. People can only say... So every advice that is given is subjective.
Yeah,
because it's always from where you sit, from what you know and what you have acquired. No matter how true or objective it looks, it's always that bias. So you need to actually pick what works for you and filter through it, and then develop something that will benefit you, as the case may be. So yes, thank you so much, Abdulateef.
Sorry, another thing I actually picked up from him is that, and this thing about knowing exactly what you are doing. We have some newbie vegans that will now become parents, and then they want to put their child on that particular kind of diet. Do you understand what I mean? Like newbie vegans, like vegans that just became vegans, like just before, do you understand, they got pregnant or something like this, or just before they had a child. Now, I feel like when you don't know enough about, it's okay. It can be quite subjective, because in 9 months you can actually learn a lot. But if you don't know enough about this particular kind of diet, it's not advisable that you put your children under it. Do you understand? Because you need to have had like vast years of experience. That's why this Summer Walker case study we mentioned earlier is actually interesting, because Summer Walker has been a vegan for a very, very long time. So when she's telling you that what she's doing to her child, she knows what she's doing, you have to take her word for it. Do you understand? You have to take her word for it and say that, you know what, all right, we're going to back off here. Do you understand? The point is, have deep knowledge and understanding of how, do you understand, what you're actually feeding your child and what you're actually giving this child. Because again, we took a case study of a child dying as a result of bad diet.
I agree with you. All right, so let me just continue what Paul from Lagos was saying. Paul was saying that depends on the age of the child. During infancy and toddlerhood, the parent should be the major decision maker, as this is the period of growth, and diet should be adequate to fulfill those needs. I abhor the parenting technique of giving a 2 to 3 year old choices on what food she or he wants to eat. What is cooked at home for the parents is what the toddler also should be given. Once the child becomes an adolescent, parents need to balance between the child's own decisions and what is good for the betterment of the teenager. I'm going to say yes, because they are kids and do not understand the need to eat healthy. I remember my aunt's daughter, who was 5 years old at the time. She eats a lot of biscuits and yogurts. At her age, she was already exposed to lots of sugar and junks. She was just 5, but already was looking like she was 13, which wasn't healthy, if you ask me. So yes, it is a legal guardian's duty to make food decisions for their dependent and put the child on diet if need be.
Yeah.
I agree with these. I totally agree with it. And that is essentially where he was talking about, where children make choices of what they want to eat. No!
Yeah.
No! What do you want to eat? Noodles, no. You're not going to eat that.
Yeah.
No, don't give a child full autonomy. So, I mean, yes, you can ask if you're running a democratic government in your house. You can definitely ask. If it's healthy eating and it works for what everybody's eating, yes. So, my friend was telling me a story one time about this particular child. This child grew up to not eat what every other person was eating in the home. Like, the child had 2 other siblings that, okay, are you going to eat rice? Yes. The child would say, no, I want noodles, I want burger, and all of that. And then the child became so spoiled that if you're making her food and you taste out of it, she's not going to eat it. Like, she would throw so much tantrums. She would cry and scream and everything. And she will not just eat. You will place water on the table and you just want to drink some part of it. The child will not let you. The child doesn't share and everything. And I mean, people started asking now, why did you give this child so much authority? You are the parents, not the other way around. We're not asking you to maltreat your child. However,
yeah.
Why? Like, the child at some point wasn't looking healthy because the child wasn't eating and the parents just didn't know what to do. So they had to change the narrative. You are eating what we're eating in the house.
Yeah.
If today we are eating eba and a fori roll with very good beef and all of that, you are eating it. If tomorrow what we're eating is salad, fruit salad or coleslaw or whatever, that's what you're eating.
Yeah.
And you're going to drink fresh squeezed juice, or if it is yogurt that we're eating, or taking this morning, that's what you're taking. If it's custard and akara on a Saturday morning, that's what you're having, and that is it.
Yeah, you know, even when you're going to, if you want to run your domestic space in a place where you negotiate meals with the child, like, okay, we're eating, what do you want to eat? If you know, it still boils down to this thing of you know what the caller said earlier, knowing exactly what you are doing. A child asks for noodles, for instance. Noodles doesn't really do anything to the body, which I find interesting. A lot of people are fans of noodles. It doesn't, really do anything to the body, diet-wise,
but he said he used to do something in the back of the wrapper.
Well, so for instance, this child wants to eat noodles. You haven't had enough carbohydrates today. You haven't had enough protein today. You have not had enough vegetables today. I don't think it's a good idea for you to have noodles. Do you understand? I feel like even if you're going to run your domestic space like this, you have to know what you are doing. You have to know these classes of food, know in what sufficient amounts this child needs per day. So even if for instance, if the child has had enough of these things, enough of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, vegetables throughout the day, and now you also have noodles, you're like, okay, you know what? You've eaten well today, so why not? So I think that you can negotiate this space, because we have children who are very intuitive. We have children who are very aware of a lot of things. We are in a serious information influx age where they gain a lot of things online. They read so many things online. So and this is making them they have a strong voice. Children these days, they have very strong voice.
Highly opinionated.
They have very strong wills in demanding what they want. You need to be able to have a conversation with children of today. And having a conversation means that you need to know what you are doing, essentially.
I like homes where I see a food timetable. I like it. I like it where it is properly broken down. Monday, scrambled eggs and this, 12 to this time. If you miss this time, well, go and resort to drinking water or something. Brunch is healthy snack, like celery, carrot, and what's it called? And you'll find them in probably Ziploc bags or something in the fridge. Strawberries and yogurt for this particular time. At night, we are taking just custard and milk, and we're going to sleep and all of that. And then there's probably cheat day where we have ice cream and cake, etc., etc. I like it. Properly broken down, no headache. Mommy, I want sweet. Is it on the timetable? No, ma. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So Ayoku Sharon from Lagos is saying, if we are talking about babies here, then yes. But if we are talking children from ages 10 above, then no. My own mother used to force me to eat some certain food when I was young, even though I wanted to eat something else. But every time I ate what she wanted me to eat, that I didn't get to eat, I always ate in my dreams. Sharon, I complained about it, but she said what I needed was deliverance. So I was forced to do deliverance from dream feeders for good 3 days. Guess what? The eating in the dream didn't stop. I had to train my mind to let go of the food I had in my mind. And every time I tried to do that, I realized that I didn't eat in my dreams. So I concluded that it was a thing of the mind. I worked on it and stopped. But now that I have matured, I come to realize that it's okay to eat whatever it is you want to eat, as long as it is not harmful to your body. Dream eating. I feel like that is a response to trauma. It's a traumatic response.
It's possible
to not having what you want to eat.
A typical African would say it is spiritual.
It's a spiritual
attack.
Spiritual attack that comes to give you food.
anyways, yeah, it might
I
be.
actually enjoy eating in my dream sometimes. Like
Ade.
I enjoy a good bowl of amala with soft brokoto and very nice beef. Oh, mwah. I'm already seeing it. Sorry.
In your sleep. So there is this, so I don't know how true this is, but I read something one time that if you eat in your sleep, whatever it is that you eat, try to eat that in reality.
Why?
I don't know. Like, it would help relieve you from the stress. Like, you're stressed. That's why you're eating that much, or you're eating that particular food in your sleep. So that you can get over it, eat that particular meal in reality.
When you're dream eating, your mouth goes like, it's so nice. So interesting.
Are you serious? Has somebody ever told you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes when I'm very, very, very tired, I mumble words. So when I'm very, very tired and I'm dream eating, just, you know.
Okay. That's, see the way I did, like a typical Yoruba mommy. Okay, this one is from Ayoku. Ayoku from Lagos is saying, food at its most basic level isn't about morality or fashion. It's about survival. Parents have a responsibility to provide them with sufficient nutrition, but also expose them to a wide variety of foods as possible. Veganism is a perfect example of the kind of foolishness that can result when people lose a realistic appreciation and respect for food. It is not a healthy diet for humans. No human culture has ever naturally developed a vegan diet because it's impossible to develop a vegan cuisine that is nutritionally sound without exotic foods. By exotic foods, I mean foods that rely on a first world supply chain, a supply chain that often deprives others of nutritious meals. That being said, a parent also has a responsibility to cultivate their child's individual identity and within reason cater to their identity as it develops. If a child's tastes are sufficiently broad that they can be fed nutritiously without upsetting the family's normal routine too much, then they should be accommodated. If there are foods that repulse them, they should not be forced to eat them. Ayoku's comment is a bit interesting.
Yeah.
I agree and I don't agree.
I don't agree with some parts.
Some parts, yeah. I mean, I would not agree that you call veganism foolishness because, I mean, that's what some people practice. You may not
understand it.
You may not understand it.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to agree with it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, yes. Also, I mean, I don't agree that you accommodate a child's, that you totally accommodate a child's tantrums. I mean, that's how I'm going to break this last part down because I mean there are times where a child's taste may not be what the family can afford. Let's also talk about affordability.
Actually
let's talk about economy.
I'm telling you,
I mean, it's not everybody that has so much money. I mean, they keep telling us that all fingers are unequal. A lot of parents are trying. It's difficult these days. They want to make sure that their child gets the best out of the best and give them the best meals. There are times where my parents don't get to eat.
Exactly.
Just to make sure that their child is eating. It's not because they want to starve, but they can't afford it. And then the child is out there throwing tantrums. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Veganism is not a foolish diet at all. I think for those watching that are probably, who actually think in this particular line, veganism is a lifestyle and it's actually healthy in its own way. You can get your full carbohydrates, your full protein from this particular food and eating lifestyle. Next, views from the net comments comes from VB from Port Harcourt. VB is saying, why should they? When they have better things to do, like making sure the child goes to school, not keep bad company, making sure they do their homework and feed them when hungry. Which one is diet again? Now, fast people, they diet, I beg, no be king. Again, and again. You know what? I think we should find a definition for dieting.
Yes.
Let's do that, actually. So that we can address this kind of this kind of.
Okay, all right. So as you were trying to find what diet actually means, this comment is from Shola from Ogun State. Shola says, my kid tried to eat crayons the other day. I think it might be a good idea to put him on a diet. What do you think?
Say, Mike.
Shola? Yes, let's have a conversation.
Okay.
Yes, diet. If your kid eats crayon today, your kid will try to eat chalk tomorrow or pencil. Did you eat pencil as a kid?
I ate erasers.
You ate erasers?
I ate erasers.
Why do children do that?
I know. But erasers are nice. You know, they're soft. It's like wara.
Hey!
You know, not fried wara. Like, you know,
The fresh soft
white
one.
soft wara. It's like wara.
Like cheese.
Yeah.
What do they call it? What's that kind of cheese?
I don't even know. I know it's like milky cheese, isn't it?
It's milky cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a car boy now, so. All right, so I found a definition for diet. We're gonna take VB's comments again so we can
Okay.
address this particular notion of what a diet apparently means. So first definition I'm going to read says the kinds of food that a person, animal, or community habitually eats. So there's something like a vegetarian diet, right? And then another definition I have here is the kind and amount of food prescribed for a person or an animal for a special reason. In those two definitions, there's nothing about, that is particularly exclusive to fat people or, people who are trying to lose weight in those two definitions. I'll read another one. So this third definition, a special course of food to which a person restricts themselves either to lose weight or for medical reasons. So again, let's now have a look at what VB is saying one more time, please. So VB is saying, I'm going to read the last line. Now, fat people, they diet, I beg, no be keen. Dieting isn't just for losing weight. I say it into your coffee a lot. I am currently on a weight gain diet. So for instance, my diet, I'm on this diet because sometimes I forget to eat. Sometimes I wouldn't just eat. Do you understand? So I find myself losing a lot of weight. So I'm on a weight gain diet in terms of I am trying to add weight. So normally when I eat probably once a day, now interesting, but a day I have to force myself to eat like 3 to 5 times a day. I literally have to. So especially
That healthy. 5 times.
Yeah. No. Not heavy meals. So out of these 5 meals, there are probably like 1 or 2 heavy meals. The others
healthy
are like
snacks.
Yeah, the others are like banana and granuts or yogurts and a fruit. Do you understand? Something like yogurts and apples or something like this, and then maybe a heavy dinner.
Okay.
So I purposefully have to I have to teach my stomach how to take in a lot of food. So again, we have to correct that notion of what dieting is. There's only big people, that need to take that.
Alrighty. Just to wrap up this conversation, we got a comment from Dr. Alan from Abuja. Dr. Alan says, it depends on the diet. If it's a healthy diet, then yes, it is right. However, a lot of us feel when we hear the word diet, it often means good and well. Not all the time. Diets can be harmful if done for a long time. That's why people develop sicknesses like anorexia. Dieting, if not careful, can be addicting. It's okay to eat all the proteins and fruits in the world. However, that shouldn't be the only thing that you eat. There is a need to create a balanced diet, which means a little bit of carb, vitamins, proteins, minerals, etc. For instance, an overload of vitamins can lead to what we call vitamin toxicity. That is, when the vitamin becomes toxic to one's body and works in the opposite way. Too much vitamin C or zinc, for example, could cause diarrhea, stomach cramps, gastrointestinal upset, fatigue, frequent urination, and sometimes uneven heart rate. So the question of if it's right for parents to put their child on diet, yes, it's okay for them to do so if only they have observed a eating pattern that isn't healthy. But if the child is already eating healthy, and by healthy, I mean a balanced diet, there is no need again to put the child on a diet. Doing this will only complicate the child's system, particularly because it's a child. That is it.
Exactly.
That's all we need to say about this conversation. That's all we need to say about this conversation on dieting. And that is how we're going to wrap it up this morning. Like Dr. Alan has said, make sure you are not overloading your body with one particular thing. Make it balanced. Carbs, proteins, vitamins, everything that you need, especially if it's a child. And you need to notice the pattern. That's one part that I picked. Notice the pattern. If your child is eating unhealthily, then you can place them on a healthy balanced diet. See, all these words are very key. So as
balanced diet,
it has to be balanced. It has to be healthy because that particular toddler is a child and it is their formative years. They need all the nutrients that they can get.